Hey everybody, it's Lynn from A Bit of Birdsong. I just got home a little while ago after taking care of errands today and doing some work-related things. It's been a wonderful day. Today's the last day of January, so I have finished using, let me show you the workshop. I finished using my January planner, which has turned into such a fun planner. I'm just going to pan around so you can see all the fun stuff in here while I'm talking to you. That's going to be a place for creepy stuff to reside. But yeah, my hair it wasn't quite so crazy. But once I get home, I'm like, let's take it down. And it's partially down. I'll take it all the way down in a little bit. I digress though. It's been a wonderful day. I found some beautiful, beautiful paper at Paper Source in Durham to make my newest journal. So, like, even their bags are so pretty. It's got the beautiful bee on it. I wonder if you can see that. And the paper inside is it's a red and off-white, and some of it's Valentine's. I'm going to also incorporate the bag into my planner journal for February. I think I have finally hit on what works perfectly for me. So I'm just spinning around so you can see all the stuff in here. I have a new pile of fabric from thrifting. Jason took me out, what day was that? It might have been Saturday, to Greensboro. We went to Reconsidered Goods, and they have fabric that you can dig through and fill a bag up. They were a little low on fabric. It surprised me. But I still found some really pretty things to incorporate into my journal. I've done some rearranging. I'm hoping to do something special with the dollhouse, but I have a lot of books still to go through. That has that has turned into my inspiration station. I cut out a lot of articles and pictures and things that I want to try, things I want to try to do. So I'm going to quit talking right into the camera. Got this crazy glare going on, and put the camera on my desk so that we can make a new planner together. And I'll show you how the January planner ended up. It was so much fun, and I will talk about what really works for me. I think I finally found it. This is the planner bag that I carry. There's a hair clip. I try to keep a hair clip with me most of the time. That is the January planner. It's awesome. So what I did, I started it in December, and kind of necessity was the mother of invention because I was doing some work away from the house. I did have a work apron that had a big pocket. So again, it was necessary for me to make a smaller size planner journal, which I've been drawn to smaller journals lately anyway. And I'm not doing this work anymore that I was doing for just a little while. It's kind of a long story. But I had started this in December and then filled up the rest of the pages with the dates for January. So you can see there's just a lot of doodling, and Jason's mom gave us a beautiful desk calendar, with the pages you just kind of tear off day by day. It had some beautiful birds. Every day's got a bird. So I glued some of those on and wrote what kind of birds they are. And I wrote to-do notes. I've got just little encouraging things. I am capable. Things I wanted to do each day. Things with my business, prescriptions, places I wanted to go. So I love her. So this just turned into kind of an everything journal. There are things... Look, tired. There are things in here that I found, like the washer, to-do list. There's a little oatmeal package. So just a lot of fun stuff. And again, I picked up one of these from Hallmark. It's got it's got the months. So it's kind of nice having something like this in your planner if you need, most of us have our phone with us all the time. and we can pull up a calendar really quickly, but it is nice to have a paper calendar. So like say if you get paid at certain intervals throughout the year and you want to mark all your paydays, or if you want to mark birthdays down and be able to look at that on paper. Little calendars like that are really fun. So today's the last day of January. I've got to make a new planner for February. And some of the things that I'm going to incorporate, look at that sticker. I probably will use this. They've taken my paper and they've wrapped it in a sheet of this really, really lightweight paper, which I will save to put with my paper scraps that I'm going to use to make my own paper. And I've got to get back into that and show you how I was doing that. I was making a piece of paper about every day. I don't have the space to do anything large scale, but for me, it was working out perfectly to make a piece of paper every day. I love this. So part of it's Valentine's, of course, for February, and then we've got this really pretty kind of abstract flowers. I thought this would be fun to try to draw in your journals too. It almost looks like the underside of a mushroom. I also have this Somerset Studio. I love the Somerset magazines because they a lot of times include what they call it's artist papers. Sometimes they've called it art to borrow, I think. And you know, I'm going to start incorporating these into my journals. I'm going to turn the camera off and get my paper sorted. You know, I don't have to keep you all hanging on the line while I do this. I'm going to be incorporating some fabric, of course, to make a fabric cover, and I'll be back. It is finished. I have probably been out here working for about 30 minutes, maybe 40. Honestly, this did not take long. It's a bit messy, just like I am. It's also eclectic. The theme for me was pink and Valentine's Day, February. Let me tell you some of the things that I used in this. Of course, the beautiful paper that I found from Paper Source, which is this beautiful paper, and it's kind of interspersed throughout the journal. I also decided today while I was at Barnes & Noble that I'm going to use these artist papers that Stampington puts in the magazines that they put out. And they also, in some of their magazines like Somerset Studio, and Jay recently sent me a recent copy of Somerset Studio, so thank you so much. I'm using it. I love those magazines so much. I decided to cut or tear out those pages. You end up with like a 4x5 size page when they're folded. And what I did was I ended up with so many pages where I wanted to be able to keep seeing the lettering here. I didn't want it to get lost. Some pages are okay if half of the text gets lost because you can still figure it out. But I wanted to really interact with the narratives that they have and the prompts that they have. That's why I ended up with so many signatures. I think there are 7 signatures in here. And I sewed them in with the sewing machine. Some of you have asked how I do that. I always use an odd number because then you can pick out the center signature and have, like I had 7. So I picked out the one I wanted in the center. I had 3 then that were gonna go on this side and 3 on this side. So I sewed in the middle signature with the sewing machine. I decided not to sew the whole length of the page because I don't want the page perforated, and you have to set it on the largest stitch possible. Because I had several pieces of paper that I wanted to keep intact, there are only a few pieces of paper in each signature. Like this signature only has 3 pages, which made it really easy to sew down the center of the signature. So, you know, I just sew in that center one and then close it. Then I take the next signature and lay it down, sew it into place. Then I move on to the next one and sew it into place. And after you've done you do the center one, you've got 3 over here. After you've finished that last one, which means you've put in 4 signatures, you flip the journal. So then you're going to sew in the next one, the next one, the next one. And the only thing you really have to be careful with is to make sure you're orienting your pages so that, or orientating, whatever that word is, your pages so that the text is right side up. I used some of this fabric that I found recently. I've put a pocket in the front. I can't decide if I'm going to worry about this little piece of fabric sticking up or not. I think I'm not going to worry about it. See how that's, I started to turn that under and then I didn't. I have found with these little monthly junk journal planners that I make, I like to have a few sheets of extra paper in case I want to write something down. Looks like I maybe had these ready for another project, maybe a little booklet or something, and tore those out. I love this fabric with the butterflies or the moths. And then this pocket in the back holds my Hallmark calendar with all the dates. I actually had to take this to the paper trimmer and cut it down because this pocket is a little bit tight, but that's okay. At least I have a paper trimmer that I can use. I've sewed this vintage key on the front. Probably gonna put my birdsong stamp on the back before it's over with. It'll have to go at the top because I don't want to sew over that pocket. You can see that I've started writing my days in, but I didn't write anything on these pages where Somerset or Stampington is asking us to be interactive because I plan to do these things. Stay tuned. I'm going to be using this throughout February. I may add more to the cover. I love the way my journal turned out. It's quick, it's eclectic, it is so me. It brings art into my life every day, which is the purpose. It documents things, which is another purpose. It allows me to be creative. I absolutely love the process of journaling, junk journaling, diary keeping, writing down secrets and plans. I hope you enjoyed this, and I definitely hope you will be back. Thank you so much for watching, and bye for now.